This is the Then Everything After podcast with your boy Amax.
Chantel.
And Frank, aka the King of Trainers. How we doing, guys?
All is good over here. A bit cold though.
Yeah.
Is it cold, yeah?
It just
It's a bit cold in my house, yeah.
Kicked in differently, man.
I'm telling you, it's freezing. It's absolutely freezing, man.
And my old body feels it now. I feel it in the joints.
Really?
I thought that
But where are you going with the short sleeves anyway?
Hey,
what is
trying to show off his muscles.
Innit?
what muscles?
I'm wearing
It's a
hoodies at
facade.
Innit? You're hiding your arms, Fabs.
These arms are a facade. You touch them, they're soft.
Hoodies at home. Hoodies at home. So how we doing?
Yeah, it was fine.
How are we? It's weird, isn't it? It's weird the way the year's ending. I don't know if it's just me. It's just a bit weird. It's like we've had all these strange events happen back to back, and now we're sitting in December. We're already on the 7th of December. It's mad.
It's mad. We've lost the whole year, but
yeah,
we move.
It's wild. It's wild.
Indeed.
Right. So there's a few things really. A few things have been going on, and it's kind of made me think about these topics. So one of them is, like, obviously we touched on that whole Dave Chappelle thing the last time we got together. But it just seems like there's a continual pattern of people showing up on social media here in the UK as well, talking about deals that have gone south or left, or however you want to put it. Like the last thing I saw was, like, I don't really follow her, so I can't really comment too much on her music. Like, I kind of get an idea about what her music is, but I can't really say that. I can't say I'm a consumer of her music, but I felt her pain. I saw tweets from Ivorian Doll on Twitter.
Okay. I saw the article. I saw the post that you're talking about. Yeah.
And obviously she was like, I'm not even gonna name who. Like, the name stands on it. The person that it pertains to, or the situation it pertains to, there are lots of things connected to that, but I'm not going to get into all of that here. But it's just going back again to that topic of, I create something, I go to you, I'm in a situation where you present a deal to me, and in the here and now, especially if I'm young, that sounds like a great deal. And I don't necessarily know what I'm getting myself into as a youngster. You know, because your platform targets young people. Yeah, so your target specifically is going for young people and fresh talent and trying to draw them into what you built. You built that on the premise that it's about them. If you sign them into some sort of management deal, or whatever that looks like, whatever that contract looks like, and you basically buy their likeness without they don't even know their likeness has been bought, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And now when they want to move forward, you're saying to them, you can't move forward unless you buy your likeness off me.
Right.
Yeah. It's modern day slavery. That's modern day slavery. Like, you know, just to kind of go into a bit of detail. So we're talking about Ivorian Doll, the artist, a gentleman who I think he used to own a radio station. He signed her, then he kind of copyrighted her name and all that sort of stuff. And that's modern day slavery. Do you get what I mean? And I feel that like the music business itself, the business spoils music. Do you get what I mean? Like, why would you want to hold, even though that has been a pattern of the music industry since kind of the development, that the record company owns the artist and they own everything the artist does. But why would you want to do that? Like, don't you see that as slavery? That's like, you know, because they have to look at it, would they like it being done to them?
Come on, man. You know already what the answer is to that. It's skullduggery, man.
Yeah.
Let's think about it for where it is. Like, so you're on one side where you already have a leg up in life because your family dynamic is you are coming from wealth. Before you've even started this whole thing,
right,
where you've embedded yourself into a culture, Yeah, you already have something, and you're connecting with people that don't necessarily have much or anything, but they're God-given talent. Yeah, they step to you with their talent. They make your thing pop with their talent, and then you don't even give, like, imagine that, like, you've got a leg up in life to the point where when you're dead, if you've had children, your kids are taken care of and their kids are taken care of. It's that sort of situation. Yeah. The other person may not have even had the chance to think about legacy. You say that you're out to help people, yet here is a situation where you could have, hell, let the person in on the fact that, right, you know what, I think we need to purchase your likeness. Let them know that that's the intent. Talk to them about it. See where they're at with it. If they're not looking to move on it, then of course you move on it. You've given them access to that. You've told them to be a part of that. Hell, you may even encourage them to do that for themselves. Do you get what I mean? But I don't think that record labels do that if they can get away with it.
Yeah, nah. Unfortunately, business is to make as much money off the person. Like, that's why they call it masters, contracts, and there's certain terminology and wording that you got to kind of look at when you're looking at a business. You know, and I feel that some artists, I would say at least 90% of artists, when they start off, they don't get a lawyer, they don't speak to some sort of legal person, and unfortunately, they get themselves in this predicament. And it's not their fault. It really isn't their fault. Like, when you are a musician and you love music, you just want to produce music and you just want people to hear your stuff. You don't really want to get into all of the, oh, I need to know my rights and I need to know all of this. If someone appears that they've got the establishment, the record station or the radio station, whatever it may be, and then you will sign. Anyone. I mean, why wouldn't you? You want people to hear your stuff. And that's what real musicians want. They just want people to hear their music. Yep. You know, I think that even the inside is not even as important. Obviously, money's gonna come, but when it's like, I just want people to hear my stuff, and the more people that hear my stuff, the more successful you're gonna become anyway. But then there's people in the business that know the business and just want to manipulate. And I always say that wealth is not about anything more than the knowledge that someone else has. Creating wealth is nothing more. Yeah, creating wealth. There's nothing, you know.
For me though, I know exactly what station this is because I actually had a show on this station. I won't name it, but at the end of the day, I feel like with the whole situation as it is, my problem is there's a naivety in there that I didn't like. If you go through the tweets, I was going through the whole list of all the tweets from people responding back to her as well. There's a part where she said that she heard bad things about them and didn't really trust it, and heard like rumors and thought, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this, but she went ahead and did it anyway, and she still signed with them. And I understand where you're coming from, where it's like, need to get your music out and that person's promising to get your music out, so you want everyone to hear it. But I always feel you got to trust your instincts as a person, even if it's not music, any form of business, you got to trust your instinct. And when you can say off the bat that you didn't really feel too strongly about that person, but you still went there anyway, that's like a 50-50 thing where it could go wrong or it could go right. And in this instance, it went wrong, but you've heard it could go wrong because it's been wrong for other people. So I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't. Now, if you went in there blindsided, had no idea about or any idea about this person's characteristics as a person, and you were completely blindsided, and cool, that's really bad. But for me, I feel like when you get an inclination of someone's intentions as a person, maybe you shouldn't go there because then you will get burnt. And unfortunately, she got burnt. So
yeah, you know what, I did see that, and I did think about that. I thought, well, if you were privy to that information prior to making your decision, most people would walk away. But then it comes onto a topic which is, you know, like, because there's two sides of the coin. There's people who you could argue don't want it, and with anything in life, whatever it is they're going for, they just don't want it bad enough. They just don't really want it. Like when you really, you know, scratch beneath the surface. And then you've got other people who want it so bad that they'll do things that aren't in their best interest. You know, so based on that, like the question I have is, so there's two questions to this really. Let's start with the first question. Let's go back and let's look at people who are completely risk averse or like people that don't fully invest in themselves. Let's go to that side first, and we'll come back and we'll visit the people who take mad risks regardless, uncalculated risks. So first of all, somebody who, what do you both think it is that stops people from like really investing in themselves when there are opportunities presented to them?
So answer your question about why people don't invest when they get given the opportunity to, and they have everything there to invest. It's a sense of, maybe it's a lack of, maybe it's a fear of success. Because I never knew it's a real, I never knew it's a real thing, but there's a fear of failure and there's a fear of success. And that is what stops loads of people from getting to the next level, because they're scared of getting there and then getting there and not meeting expectations. So they just step back, and that's a real thing. So I feel like loads of people are facing that. And there's that imposter syndrome, isn't it? Where you don't believe you're capable of having something and you don't see yourself in that role. You don't believe you are worthy of having it. So you then block your good. And that's another thing. So I think loads of people are in that space where they're doing that. They're blocking their good and they don't think they're worthy of getting certain levels of success.
You know what? That right there, that's real talk.
Very good.
That
point.
Is real talk. That is, 100%.
But
what about you, Fabs?
No, I think, let's be honest. I think that in this case, there is a form of sinister being sinister. Do you get what I mean? Like, because a lot of people, we get into business with people to do business, innit? Whether it's, you know, so regardless of her being maybe naive and all of that, good business is good business. Do you get what I mean? And there's nothing that really, there's no gray area with good business. You know, this is how much I'm going to get paid. This is what it is. If she was not shown these things, like you said, then it's bad business. Whether she knows about, if she's shown these things and she then agrees, that's up to her. She presented with a contract and she the contract. That is on her. Gone. But if she didn't know and she didn't understand, that's just bad business. My sound's gone.
It's come back now, but it was glitching mad when you were saying what you were saying. Everything past saying everything past the point of, if they're not showing her the things that they should be showing her, then it's bad business. After that point, it started to glitch.
Okay, gosh, give me a sec. Let me try to switch over. Right.
All right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, nice and clear. Everything's perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I was just saying, I was just richly saying that there's bad business. Like, you know, I think despite being naive, because we've been naive in every, you know, in some form of way, you know, around, you know, we may have heard such and such, but we feel, okay, this is going to be good business. But if we're presented with something and we don't read it, that's on us. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if that's the case in this scenario, but the people doing what they're doing, they know the business, so they know that it's bad business. And that's how music business is. If you know, if you are an artist, and if you notice, a lot of artists, they come out with some amazing albums, and then you don't hear from them again, and that's because the business has been bad, not because they're not good or their album actually flopped. They probably sold loads of music, but you know, when you heard of this quote, this thing called one hit wonder. The only reason why they're one hit wonder is because they signed, it was bad business. The hit was probably making them enough money to live for life. And they probably said, okay, you know what? I've signed a bad business contract. There's no point continuing. Let me just chill out.
That's what Young Jeezy, that situation right there was what Young Jeezy was in. He said he had a situation where he had to do a catalog of song. He had like a catalog of songs sitting there.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of the deal that he had, he just rode the time out. He just basically just sat the time out and just put out some stinkers or whatever he could put out.
Yes.
Just so that he fulfilled his contract.
Indeed.
Until it was complete. And then he started to release the music he wanted to release.
Yeah.
But he had to wait it out. But he, that just sounds like it was a bad contract, but it was a bad contract with a time limit on it that wasn't destructive to his career.
Yeah.
Whereas some people sign contracts where for you to wait it out, you'll never see music ever again.
Yeah, it's bad business. And I feel that's why I do like what's happening now. People can stream, people can kind of set up their own distribution and all that. And I think that's the future. Like that's why
100%.
That's why record companies now, they're not selling as many albums. They're not doing as they don't, because someone like Beyonce, she can drop even though I think she is signed, I don't know who she's signed to, but she can drop a link in her bio and more people click the link in her bio. She don't need a music company. She's Beyonce. Same with Drake. I think Drake's about to renew his deal, whatever deal it is, but he doesn't need him. Does Drake really need a music?
No.
Because all the people want to play his songs anyway. So
yep.
Who really wants, So it's bad business. That's my personal opinion.
It's true. There's
definitely, yeah. I agree.
There's too much bad business out there. But then equally there is good business out there. So let's not dismiss the people that are doing it properly.
Yeah, indeed. I like what United Masters are doing. Steve out. It's like a kind of online like distribution thing and stuff. But I always look, any artist that I speak to, I'm always saying, have you got a lawyer? Have you got your PRS? Have you got your PPL? Do you know what I mean? Because, and I speak to a lot of artists, like a lot. Do you get what I mean? And it's just.
What I wanted to ask actually is with the whole and like the endorsements, the trainer stuff, and so forth. How's the industry changing there? Like, is there still signs of people still getting?
No, I mean, to be honest, I've experienced bad business in terms of companies maybe stealing ideas, but when it comes to being paid, there is a differential in terms of the amount you receive. But I think that is down to probably not having the right people on your team and stuff like that. And if I'm honest, when you're new, you don't really get paid. It's just when you're new and you're building, you got to kind of go through the motions. Do you know what I'm saying? Some paid work, some free work, some paid work, some free work, and you just have to balance it. And then when it comes to being paid, yeah, you can get paid really well, so there's no, I mean, there is a what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say race. There is an overlooking, like in terms of women. There's overlooking in terms of like race.
Wow.
So that stuff still goes on. However, I'll be a liar to say that I haven't been paid well. Do you get what I mean? From different projects and stuff. So, but I think I've had to work hard
to get to that.
Yeah, and I've had to learn my business because I was always a consumer in the football scene. And when I came into the business, I didn't know that I didn't even know you can get a free pair of trainers. Like, I never knew that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And then when I started to know that, and then you can get a trainer and they'll pay it and all that, I didn't know all that stuff. So I just had to learn it and build my own knowledge. So, my advice is anyone coming out, and I do help out a lot of youngsters. I help out a lot of people coming in to the game, and I also create opportunities for them. So I pay people. Like I make sure people get paid. I make sure I make sure people get paid. So
that's what it's about. And I've definitely seen that, man. I think back to coming over to check you. I've definitely seen that. Like, you've had people in to get experience, to learn from you, so they can basically do what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I don't think there's a lot of people who do what you do opening their doors for other people to learn.
Yeah, and I find it sad because, like, I never had like a mad hand up. Like, there was no one above me to be like, look, I had to really learn and really graft for a bit longer, if that makes any sense. But I've always said that if I can help in any way, anybody, I always do so. I'm like, come and chat to me. I might not give the money, but come and speak. Let me share my knowledge. And I wish that there was more people that would just share knowledge, because then more people be successful. People they always do this, I'm closing the door behind me syndrome. And I don't get that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why don't you introduce people to, okay, Sash, Simon, you speak to this person and let's eat, so and I think in the music business, it's like that a lot. There's a lot of people that they don't work with each other, they don't collaborate, and they're like, oh no, I've got this deal now, I'm gonna celebrate myself, and I'm not gonna let people in. I don't get all of that.
Oh no, they don't just say I'm not letting people in. They actively behind the scenes lobby to block access.
And trust me,
there's just so much evidence of it.
I hear so much of this.
So much.
I've seen it.
I hear this all the time.
Yeah, no, I've physically seen it. I've seen it. I've been in record labels. I've been in places, and I know that radio and people getting exclusives on playing and all that. It's all a whole factor. So you've got to really navigate well. And I think it's I have to make a point that I feel that women need to be treated better in the music industry.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, facts. They get treated. Women in the music industry get treated so bad.
Yeah. I think
so bad. Like the things I've seen, man, like over the years, like, and this is in all areas as well. It's not even just as like the performer. It's like people working behind the scenes, within the industry, even as executives, just the way they're like their opinions are dismissed.
Yeah,
like I've seen a lot of this. I've seen a lot of it. It's still
it's really bad.
A patriarchal mindset within the space. And it will be masquerade as if it's very inclusive and diverse and blah blah blah, but no, it's just,
love those words, inclusivity.
Yeah. Just all that rubbish.
Yeah,
because
it sounds so great. It really does.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah,
and you just believe it when somebody say it.
It just isn't. Like I've seen it, I've experienced it. I know what it's like to see people get blackballed. I know what it's like for people to attempt to blackball me, with things I've done or speaking to people or connections or various different things. Like the things people do is ridiculous. But I think what it is about, the thing that's great about social media and what you mentioned before about the distribution side of things and the fact that there are so many different tools to get what you need to get out there, no one can really stop you if you really want to move.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you really want to move, nobody can stop you. But it goes back to what Sasha said. A lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome. Yeah, a lot of people suffer from that. A lot of people tell themselves that they don't think they're good enough to have what's placed in front of them. It's placed in front of them for a reason, but yet they're saying they're not good enough, rather than stretching themselves and rising to it.
But I think that
anchoring themselves on and pulling themselves forward.
I think that's because of society. When things are sometimes too good to be true, we see. I do it all the time. I might be in a great situation, and I'm like, oh no, this is too good to be true. This is not supposed to be happening. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do it probably on a daily basis, for something or another. So you sometimes just got to appreciate what you have, appreciate who you, like the position you're in, and just enjoy it and try to just work hard at it. Do you get what I mean? So
facts. Yeah. You see that right there? I think there's a big struggle with people and gratitude.
Indeed.
I think there's a lack of gratitude, a lack of gratitude around in a lot of people. And when I say that, it's the inability to appreciate where they are at that moment in time, what they've done, what they should be grateful for, like all those things, and being able to verbalize it. There's a struggle with that. So you can only imagine what that looks like when someone's trying to do something. If you struggle with gratitude, how are you going to be able to receive something? Because you can't be grateful for it. How can it stay with you?
Indeed.
That's a learned thing, though. You don't just get up one day and be grateful. Like someone's got to teach you to say grace and be thankful for things. And a lot of people are not taught that, so then they wouldn't show gratitude and then look at giving gratitude to get more back because they don't see it that way. What they have is not enough. So Why be grateful for this? So there's that mentality as well. It's a learned thing. It's a learned behavior to show gratitude for anything you have.
I know what you mean. Like, oh, this is a nice drink. If only there was a little bit more in the cup.
Right. Loads of people are in that kind of mindset where then it's not enough. So why should I be grateful for it? I want more. That's it.
Indeed.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? And that's what it is. And I think this is the reason why someone could go to sleep at night and wake up and do bad business, go back to sleep at night, fine with that, wake up in the morning and continue to do bad business. Yeah, because
who's it bad for? It's not bad for them.
Yeah,
it's bad for the person at other ends, but on their end they're winning, so it's not.
Yeah, but are you winning? Are you winning? If you steal from somebody, are you winning? You're only winning. Like, are you really winning though? Let's think about that. Is that a real win?
What are you losing? If you haven't got values and morals, then you're not losing anything. That's at the core of everything. If you've got those things, then you are losing. You're losing your sense of self, sanity, integrity. But if you don't have values and all that, why would you care who you're hurting? You're making money, and that's what matters to you. And that's a lot of people's mentality. They're not here to help people. Like what you're saying, Fab, about you wish more people would help open the door, and they never went in there to help anybody.
Indeed, I agree.
That wasn't the plan. The plan was to get here, make that amount of money, maybe make their family okay. Anything thereafter is not their problem. That's your problem. So, and that's the mentality.
That's true. That's true. And sometimes we just have to accept that there's people that are just like that. I feel that maybe society trains us in a way that we think people should treat us the same way that we treat them. But there's some people that, I was watching, I saw a clip the other day, and I'll send you guys the clip, and it was literally about, what's that game show where it's Steel or what is it? It's with Chris Tarrant. Is it Chris Tarrant? Oh, Chris Tarrant? Huh? Hold on, one second.
What, Deal or No Deal?
One sec.
Oh, wait, go find out.
Okay, yeah, it's called Golden Balls. It's called Golden Balls.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna send you guys the clip, and it was so crazy because these two ladies, one white woman, one black lady, and they had both got up to about 30 grand, and then the host, I forgot, was it Chris Tarrant? It wasn't Chris Tarrant. It was one that I forgot the host, but I'll send you the clip, and he said, Jasper Carrot, that's it. And then he said,
"You're so far off."
Yeah, Jasper Carrot. I know. And then he said, "Oh, so you guys have got 30 grand," and the clip comes in when they're both shaking, they're both together. Then the clip goes out where they both say, she says, "Oh, am I going to steal, or are we going to share the money?" Then in front of each other, the black lady said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm doing this for my church. I'm gonna give you half the money. I'm so." And then the white lady says, "You helped me through. I'm gonna make the right decision for both of us." Blah blah. So then they both say, "Oh, this is my steal ball and this is my share ball and stuff." Then when Jasper Carrot says, "What are you gonna do?" the black lady goes to share, and the white lady straightly goes to steal. and then the black lady she was so confused with this, and she was so like, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you stealing?" And then the lady was like, she was like, "This is just, I feel happy with this. I feel happy." Like, she literally could not believe it. And when you see the clip is so shocking that you kind of realize this is the world we live in. She looked at her face. The black girl helped them both get up to 30 grand. And then she stole it in the black girl's face, and the black girl had the opportunity to kind of take it back, but she didn't. And that kind of sums up exactly what we're talking about today. And I'm not saying
for our page.
I'm just saying the scenario on the thing was black versus white. I'm not saying that's the case, even though probably history could say otherwise. But I'm just saying that is the world we live in. There's some people that would just in your face say, "Yeah, oh my God, yeah," and they will still in plain view from you. You get what I mean? So I think that's just the world we live in, and we just have to kind of be aware that that's it. Like,
What I like about that though, it's just made me think about my own life now and how I do things. That I feel like 5 years ago I would be the black woman. I'd be there, money for the church and whatever. I can't wholeheartedly say I would be that person. I think I might be the white woman at this point in time. Just because of circumstances.
That.
Yeah.
I understand it. Completely understand it.
Yeah, so it's but I'm gonna definitely
share that clip. I want to see that now.
You know what? We'll post that up, man. We'll post that up on the Insta. Like we'll put that on there.
Definitely.
On the page, because I think it just adds context to what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'll put the link up.
What was I was gonna say? Like, and then you see, then it goes to the other extreme where people are prepared to do anything to win.
Yeah.
People are prepared to do anything to win. Like, I don't know if I follow boxing, innit? So I look at what's going on within boxing, and there's a guy who, before Andy Ruiz was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua.
You sent that, didn't you?
Yeah, I sent it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Before Andy Ruiz was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, there was a guy called Big Baby Miller.
Oh, yeah, I know Big Baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But this guy keeps getting banned because he doesn't learn. He keeps taking drugs to enhance his performance rather than enhancing his own performance by doing the job properly. He keeps trying to cheat the system to win.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? That goes back to what I said about the contracts, right? That is the same scenario with this guy. He doesn't believe he's able to do it off his own back. You're saying, "Oh, go and train." He clearly doesn't think he's able to just go and train and do it that way. That's why he keeps getting enhancements. He can't help it.
But it's mad. It's mad. He took a drug, which basically they disbanded back in 2007 or something like that, because they tested it on either mice or rats, and they found that it develops cancer in the organs.
Wow.
Yeah? During all their clinical studies. So they just disbanded this drug. And this drug
that's the drug he's taking?
Huh?
That's the drug that he's taking
now.
this
is the latest drug that he's taken. So this is the latest thing that he took. And I need to read up a little bit more on this, but I think this is in line with the reason why he didn't get to have that fight. I think this is the drug, but they're now bringing it to light. They're now saying since the 2nd of December that they found that this drug was what was in his body, which was banned in 2018 and only available on the black market. Now, to me, if it's a medicine, which I don't even like to take medicine if I can help it, now it's banned and you can only get it in some shady way, why would you even want to put that in your body? So you want to kill yourself to win. See, that bit doesn't make sense to me.
Makes a lot of sense.
That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. No sense.
It makes a lot of sense to me because that is the nature of people want to win. They're not about how they get there. They just want to win. What's that? Oh, maybe Fab, I think you might know this. Athletes. So I'm very much into athletics. That's more my sport than anything. And that's from like my mom. We love athletics. Carl Lewis, who's the Canadian runner that was always taking drugs? Ben Johnson. That's a prime example of someone who was continuously taking different drugs. And when one was banned, it would take another and another. And when they interview him, it's like, don't you want to have a lasting legacy? He's like, no, I want to win. Like, it's not about what people think of me. I want to win. And people will risk their life to win because that's what they want.
Chambers?
With who?
With Dwayne Chambers.
Dwayne Chambers used to go to my school. To be fair, I think Dwayne's one's a bit more sensitive because I think with his, I don't know if I'm correct, the drug was legal, then it became banned or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think with his one, and it's a shame because at the time that he was gonna
he was talented.
His thing, he was literally like, it was a massive campaign. I think it was for Puma or one of these, and they done a worldwide campaign, and then it came out. It was really sad. It was very sad, and
it was.
But I feel that the zero tolerance policy that the racing, whatever they're called, IAFF or whatever, I think that also, because if your trainer is saying that this is legal and you take it because you're trained, you get what I mean? Like, because the same thing happened with Mo Farah. His trainer was known to be giving people stuff. So you believe what your trainer does and says, but they come harsh on you. So you got to kind of, it's about self-belief, innit? It's about, and a lot of these drugs are there for recovery. Because I used to work in a supplement store, you know, in central London, and a lot of these drugs, you know, these quote unquote enhancement drugs, they're there for like things like recovery, water, like releasing, you know, more energy, water, and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes through that recovery period, and there's a downtime period that you're allowed to take certain substances before you go into training. So there's a lot of things, you know, that, so it's not as straightforward. So sometimes I feel that with cancel culture and the way things happen, they put the information out, but don't give people the whole context. So then we already like, no, you're a drug taker, you're a drug cheat, but it's not 100%. You know, if you're a multiple drug cheat, that's different. But when you thought something was, you know, you got to be very careful. Yeah.
Well, that right there, I think, like you said, if you're a multiple drug cheat, then that's where the line should be drawn. Like if it's a repeat offense, then you've got to ask, okay, well, how is it that other athletes are going through the same procedures as yourself and they're not coming up with these issues, but you are? You get what I mean? It's like, I know there are other fighters and people who have been said to have taken like a regular supplement, but there's a chemical in it which is now banned within the sport of boxing, and they're then sanctioned as a result of that. But with what he was doing, he's doing everything he possibly could. He's doing things to oxygenate his body, to give his muscles more oxygen so that he didn't burn out as fast. He was doing stuff to like increase his own aggression. Like he was taking stuff for various different things for various different purposes, which were all banned. It wasn't like it wasn't like Canelo, where it was the whole tampered meat situation. And that was a one-off situation. This is like, he's had a string of this since he became a professional athlete.
Yes,
but people do this a lot in life. It's like, I'll give you an example. So it's like people who, rather than, like, let's say they want to build something on social media, rather than letting it build gradually and letting
they buy things.
Yeah, buying likes, buying comments, buying views.
Yeah.
Like, doing all this stuff to try and get there fast, but then destroying their own reputation in the process. And the thing is, it's not like, and I'd say some people, yes, they're not aware of it and they just take these chances. But there are lots of people who are aware, but they still take the risk. What is that? I know people want to win, but what is that? Like, what is that? You know that it's going to destroy you if you're nabbed.
But you don't know. That's where I got to say no.
You think
people
don't know
it's going to destroy you.
You
don't know that. No, because for some people, they can have their whole career and get to a certain point and no one will ever know they bought followers.
Yeah, it's true.
No one will ever find that out. They know, but no one else, their team might know, but no one else knows.
Yes.
So they'll take the chance, because there are some who will get there and never get caught. And then there are those who will get exposed. So it's like a chance. Will I get caught or will I not get caught? Let me see where this goes. The chances are I might not get caught. So I might as well just do this. Otherwise, I'll be stuck on 1,000 followers or whatever forever. And I won't get no endorsements, and I won't get no gifting, and I won't get anything. And I'm tired of seeing other people get free stuff. So I want them too. So that's the mindset.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, a lot of people think that I bought followers and stuff like that, even with myself. But I'm an old growth account, so the algorithms and stuff have kind of shrunken. So when you start paying for promo in terms of to promote your account, or you have an ad and you promote it, Facebook put your algorithms down anyway. So you notice like big accounts, you know, even celebrities like Kim Kardashian, all their accounts, they don't get the real reach they should. It may look like it's a big, but it's technically not. And someone like Kim Kardashian, she's got 150 million followers. You would never find a post on her page that's 15 million likes. Do you get what I mean? You wouldn't find it. Like, you know, if you find 10 million likes, you're lucky. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it's relative. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's what happens. So I also blame the social media companies like Facebook and Instagram because they don't allow organic growth anymore.
Yeah, they
kind of make it. Yeah, they kind of make it. Oh my God, you have to promo and pay because they want to make money. So they know that if you've got to a certain level yourself, oh, you must have a bit of money. You might be able to pay for promo and paid ads and stuff like that. And unfortunately, sometimes you got to do that to, you know, like sometimes when I have maybe like I'm doing my award show and I need to promo something, I have to boost the post. Do you get what I mean? So it gets more reach and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that you kind of have to do to make your, you know, your thing work.
This is the reason why I always say to people, like, pay close attention to, and even I've been guilty of not doing it as much as I should, but paying attention to new features that pop up in social media, if that's where you're building business or anything like that, or you're just trying to build a platform for something. Pay attention to the new features, because it's like when they're trying to test the features out, they don't throttle it. But as soon as the features is set in stone and people start using it properly, then they start to throttle it to be like everything else that they brought down, so that you can pay for ads.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen. So yeah, 100% agreed with that. I just think it's just mad though, because it's like, if you don't build, I don't know, if you don't build that audience yourself and you don't actually build those relationships with those people, and you're trying to sell a product or service or do whatever you're doing, you can't really connect with anyone and you can't really achieve that goal, because what is there isn't, if that makes sense. It means you never really own an audience. And in this day and age, I think that's kind of where, that's the reason why companies are jumping on influencers so much, because if you truly own an audience, you put in the work that they know is going to take them ages. So they come to you to buy into your traffic because of the work. And engagement doesn't lie in it. Like, yeah, you might have some good days and you might have some bad days, but generally speaking, it just doesn't lie. Yes, it's been throttled down by the 10%, but it just doesn't lie. Like, how do you have 1 million followers and 10 likes?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. That's dirty. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
like, I'm like, mad. And the thing is, it had to have cost you something to do that. And whatever it cost you to do that, you could have invested that into building yourself up in terms of what you were doing to build that in the first place.
Indeed.
That's my school of thought on it. But I think people are in such a hurry to get to the win and ignore the journey. People don't value the journey. What is that? Like, why is everyone so, buy the burger, eat the burger quickly, throw the wrapper on the ground, on to the next, rather than sit down, open the wrapper, take in the smell of the burger, appreciate the fact that they're about to eat the burger, be grateful for the burger, look around and enjoy the environment that they're in, about to partake in the burger, go through the process of slowly enjoying that burger, being grateful for having that burger. What happened?
Indeed.
What happened? It's mad. It's all mad. It's all mad. But I know that we're now short for time, so we got to close out. And obviously we've looked at 3 things. We've looked at bad business, people being in situations where their deals are bad, but their naivety leads them into them. We've looked at people not pursuing what they want. And then we've looked at people going all out, doing things they really shouldn't be doing, or doing anything just to win or for something immediate. So based on this discussion that we've had today, like, what are your thoughts? Like, what is going through your mind based on this conversation that we've had before we close out?
Go on, Sash.
I think I did that.
You know, yeah.
You know what I've taken, thank you, ladies first, indeed. What I've taken from this conversation is that the main theme that comes through is that, for me, it's all about morals, integrity, understanding and asking questions. That's how I see it. And people will do what they want to win, because the whole thing is to win. They want to win. Some people will do it the slow, hard, grafting way, and other people will buy their way to that. And you got to decide what kind of person you are and work with that. You know, don't try and be flex to go one way. Choose who you are and be that person. That's what I say. But the world of business and naivety and making the wrong move, it's not going to change. People will still be ripped off in business. That's the way it goes. Some people win, some people lose. That's how it is. And then on the other side, there are people who will do whatever it is to win, even kill themselves to get there. But as long as you choose not to be that person, then it's going to be okay. That's my understanding of this whole thing. So that's my take.
Nice. How about yourself, Fabs?
Yeah, I agree with Sasha. I just think that people just need to learn. They need to learn about their business, you know, and it's not easy. Sometimes it takes longer for you to get to where you need to go, but just learn about your business, immerse yourself in whatever business you're trying to do, so that you're not forced to take deals or sign contracts that are deemed to be bad business. You just take some time to learn. Just be patient. I know when you're on the verge of success and oh my God, I really want this quick, and your hunger and stuff like that. But I think patience has been my biggest teacher. It's been my biggest weapon, I should say, in business. Just be patient. Like even today, I was on the phone. I'm trying to close on something now, and I'm like, "Where's the solicitor? Like, isn't solicitor happening?" And my friend said to me, "You know, Frank, just let's do it the right way, innit? Let's go for the solicitor." And I'm there trying to say, let's send the money to close. And he's like, let's just do it the right way. And I've learned that patience sometimes is always your best weapon.
You know what? Fully agreed. I fully agree with what you both said. I don't have anything more to add, to be honest. I think you've both encapsulated like what the thinking should be and how people like best practices on how to approach these things.
Yeah, indeed.
What I am going to say, and I always say, is to you, the person that has watched this and partaken in this conversation, feel free to give back with your opinions and your views on what was discussed, and maybe insights on these topics and useful learnings that you've or experiences you've had and learning that you want to share. Please drop that in the comments, whether that's here on this YouTube video or over on our Instagram page, then everything after. Make sure that you stay with us. Share this amongst friends if you've enjoyed this. Like the video if you've liked it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications bell so you never again miss another one of these Then Everything After podcast. This is your boy Amax.
That's Chantel.
And Franklin, aka the King of Trainers, and I'm not going to sleep anymore. Cool. We good?
Peace.
Yeah, that's wicked.